Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is April 18th. Things got a little spicy in Pittsburgh this week, and it was Jackie Robinson's day over the week as well. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? About halfway through the first month of the baseball season, and things are shaping up to be a really exciting season. I've kind of enjoyed how the season's played off so far, and the players who are hot and the different storylines that we've got going on, the teams that need to find that extra gear, get going, kick it into overdrive a little bit before they fall down too far down the league ladder of the best teams in baseball. We got a good one here today, so let's get things going and start with our series recap. Braves and the Blue Jays leading us off here, and Austin Riley gets 2 home runs in the opener. They take an 8-4 victory. And then in the second game, Austin Riley homers again, but it's the Blue Jays finally getting some offensive power here. Alan Rodin, his first MLB home run, and then Anthony Santander, a 3-run home run. Albies gets a home run late, as well as Olsen, but it does not matter. 6-3 Blue Jays, the final there. And in the last game of the series, Strider gets his first start in an MLB game 376 days ago. We last saw Spencer Strider. He is back healthy and on the mound for the Braves, and unfortunately for him, he has to pitch against Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in his first series at home since signing his mega deal. He finally gets his first home run of the season. That would help the Blue Jays to a 3-1 victory and 2 of 3 in the series. Red Sox and Rays. The Red Sox come to Steinbrenner and get demolished 16-1. Yandy Diaz a home run, Junior Camareno, and then how about Cameron Misner having a great start to the season? He homers twice in this game. They had a 9-run third inning. All things Rays in that first game, but the Red Sox came back in the following 2 games and did damage. Jarren Duran, his first home run of the season. Alex Bregman, he was 5 for 5 with 2 home runs. Red Sox 7-4, and in that third game, only 1 run. It was thanks to David Hamilton and his solo home run. 1-0 Red Sox. They take 2 of 3 from Tampa. Royals and Yankees. The Royals come to New York and they lose 4-1, 4-2, 4-3. They kept getting 1 extra run. If they had a 4-game series, who knows what would have happened in extras. In that first game, 4 Yankee solo shots: Jazz Chisholm, Trent Grisham, Ben Rice, and Austin Wells. Bobby Witt Jr. also hit a solo shot, so 5 runs, 5 home runs. That second game, Jason Dominguez, a bases clearing 3 RBI go-ahead double. That's the difference. And then tied up at 3 in Game 3, Judge hits the go-ahead solo shot in the 7th. That's the difference there, and that's how the Yankees sweep the Royals. Guardians in O's now. The Guardians take a 6-3 victory in Game 1. Steven Kwan, he gets a home run in the game, 3 RBIs as well. How about that from Kwan? Game 2, Jackson Holiday, a grand slam from the kid. Ryan O'Hearn and Laureano also hit home runs. Baltimore getting some pop to a 9-1 victory. And in the third game, Gunnar Henderson gets his first home run of the season. O'Hearn gets another home run in the series, and Heston Kjerstad joins the party. A 6-2 Baltimore win, and they take 2 of 3 against the Guardians. Mets in Minnesota take on the Twins. Soto gets his second Mets home run, but it helps them out to a 5-1 victory as they take the opener of the series. In Game 2, though, Alonso and Soto both hit home runs in the game. Unfortunately, it's not enough. The Twins take a 6-3 victory to even up the series. And in the last game, the Mets score 3 in the 8th to tie the game up. We'd go to extras, and it's Ty France who walks it off with an RBI single. The Mets will try to fight it, but the Twins hold on in the end. A 4-3 victory in the 10th inning. On a walk-off win, Twins take 2 of 3. A's and White Sox. The A's, what a power streak they're on. There's an 8-way home run tie for the league leaders. I don't think so. Tyler Soderstrom says F that and hits 2 homers in the night to propel him into first place. Langeleras hits a home run as well. 12-3 A's in that first game. Then they come back with a 3-run 6th inning. Thanks to Gio Urshela, he gets a 2-run triple. That gives the A's the lead, and that eventually wins them the game. 3-1 A's in the second game. And the last game, It's Lawrence Butler, it's JJ Bleday, it's Brent Rooker, and hey, it's Tyler Soderstrom again. 4 home runs for the A's, 8-0 the final there. The A's sweep the White Sox. Angels and Rangers, the 2 top teams in the AL West, clashing it out. Tyler Mahle throws a great game to a 4-0 Rangers win. How about Patrick Corbin? He was suspected a venomous spider bit him. He was struggling to walk apparently, and he still comes out and throws a great game. 3-1 Texas. And in the last game, Garcia, Seager, both of them hit home runs. 5-3 Rangers. There's a new leader at the top, and it's thanks to Texas sweeping the Angels. Giants and Phillies now 4 games set here, and a lot of flipping and flopping. A 6-run second inning for the Giants in this first game. Tyler Fitzgerald, his first home run of the year. And Willie Adames hits his first of the year as well, and first as a Giant. How about that? And Yastrzemski, he's been on a tear. He gets a home run later on in this game. 10-4 Giants as they take the opener. Game 2, it's the Phillies' time to strike. Real Muto, his first home run of the year. Bryce Harper, he gets a bomb. 6-4 Phillies, they even up the series. Back to San Francisco here with 2 4-run innings in the game. Their offense was striking in some of these games to a 11-4 victory to take that third game. And in the fourth game, the Phillies score 5 runs in the first, and that sets the pace for this one to another 6-4 victory. The Phillies and Giants split the 4-game set 2 apiece. D-backs and Marlins. Arizona has a fantastic lineup, and when you get pitching or when you play teams like Miami, you will win games. Perdomo, Naylor, both of them homer. Corbin Carroll, grand slam. 10-4 D-backs with that win. Again, Josh Naylor. How about Pavin Smith? How about Lourdes Gurriel Jr.? And how about Tim Tawa? His first career MLB home run, 4 D-back home runs, 6-2 Arizona. And then Pavin Smith homers again. And how about Josh Naylor in the series, homering in all 3 games? 6-4 Arizona. They sweep Miami, a big series for them. Nationals and Pirates, they would get a little spicy in this series. A 4-game set here. It starts with a 5-run 8th inning in the first game to turn a 2-run lead into a 7-run lead for the Buccos. The Pirates take a 10-3 victory. In the second game, the Nationals and James Wood get things started. A leadoff home run. First at bat of the game, 6 pitches in on Jackie Robinson Day. 3-0 Washington in the final there. O'Neal Cruz, he gets a grand slam in the third game here, and this is also the game that the benches would end up clearing between Andrew McCutchen and George Lopez. Jorge Lopez. 6-1 Pirates. Don't know why I blanked on the name. They take that third game, and then O'Neal Cruz in that final game, he gets another home run. It's a solo shot, and it's his only run of the game. 1-0 Pirates as they take 3 of the 4 against the Nationals at home. How about that for the Buccos? Tigers and Brewers. The Tigers scored 9 unanswered in the first 5 innings. Kerry Carpenter helping that out with a home run of his own. 9-1 Detroit in that opener. But here come the Brewers. Hoskins gets his first home run of the year to help the Brewers to a 5-0 victory. And then it's Yelich. It's Hoskins again. And how about Sal Frelick's first home run of the year? Those 3 all going deep for a 5-1 Brewers win. They take 2 of 3 against the Tigers. Astros and Cardinals for a fun little series here. Cardinals get a nice treat with a Nolan Arenado home run to help them in the first game to an 8-3 victory. Well pitched from the Astros in Game 2. Jordan Alvarez, he gets a home run in the 8th for some insurance. Eric Fedde made an incredible double play in this game as well. 2-0 Astros. Had to mention that double play. And in the rubber match of this series, Nootbaar, a 3-run home run that put the Cardinals up by 2. They add an insurance run. 4-1 Cardinals. They take 2 of 3 from Houston. Mariners and Reds. I was talking about this could be 1-0, 2-0 games. Very low scoring, little offense, lots of pitching. Boy, was I wrong. Dylan Moore in the first game was 3 for 5 with 2 home runs and all 4 of the Mariners' RBIs. Unfortunately, Austin Hayes hits his first home run as a Red. It's a 4-run 5th inning for the Reds. They come back in this one, 8-4 Cincy would take it. Then in Game 2, Cal Raleigh, he hits 2 home runs in this game, 1 from each side of the plate, as the switch-hitting catcher hits his 100th career home run. good for him and good for the Mariners, who take a 5-3 win. And in this last game, Austin Hayes, he homers again. Jake Fraley gets a go-ahead grand slam in the 8th. Things are looking good for Cincy. Rally and Randy back-to-back bombs to tie it for the Mariners in the 9th. We go to extras, and in the 10th, the Mariners score 4. How about that for some offense? 11-7 Mariners. And a crazy comeback game. They take 2 of 3 from Cincy. Cubs and Padres. The Padres still undefeated at home. What does that mean for them? Well, it means Tatis will have 2 home runs in the night, and that second was Padre back-to-back with Luis Arias, who hits his second home run of the series. All things San Diego, 10-4 in that first game. Then in the second game, Nico Horner, we would go to extra innings, and in the 10th, Horner with the RBI triple scores a run for the Cubs, and the Padres cannot answer. It's a 2-1 victory for the Cubs in 10 innings, and the Padres lose their first game at home, but they would bounce back in the third game. Pete Armstrong, his home run would bring the Cubs within 1, but they cannot find it. The Padres added insurance run 4-2 San Diego. They take 2 of 3 against the Cubs. And that brings us to the Rockies and the Dodgers. And I mean, you got a team who's fighting for the top of the division. You have a team at the bottom of the division. It's all things Dodgers. Mookie and Ohtani both homer in Game 1, 5-3 Dodgers. Will Smith homers in Game 2, 6-2 Dodgers. That third game was a little close. Ohtani, leadoff home run. Freeman gets a home run. They scored 7 innings in the first. There's no way they would lose that game, right? Well, it got interesting. Michael Toglia, he hits a grand slam, and that was followed by a back-to-back bomb with Mickey Moniak. The Rockies made it a 1-run game from falling down 7. So pretty impressive stuff there from the Rockies, who lose 8-7. The Dodgers sweep them, and that is your series recap. All right, now let's get into the game of the week, and I'm taking you to Cincinnati. How about this series? This might have been my favorite series of the week. We're going to the final game here. Series tied 1-1. The Mariners and the Reds. How about Austin Hayes? He got activated off the IL, and he became, he's just raking. He hits a home run in the series. He hits a second home run in the bottom of the first. That starts the party here for Cincy. 2-0 Reds after 1. Then you go to the top of the fourth. Luke Raley, a 2-run home run, would tie the game up 2-2. Top 5, Cal Raleigh. He reaches on an error from Ellie De La Cruz, and that allows Julio to score 3-2. And then Donovan Solano, a sac fly, makes it 4-2 Seattle. They are in front here. Bottom 7 we go, and it's TJ Friedel who gets a sac fly to bring Cincy back within 1. Top of the 8th, Crawford gets an RBI double. Seattle back up 2. We're 5-3 heading to the bottom of the 8th. You got Lux on. You got Candelario on. You got Dunn on. You got Jake Fraley up to the dish. And what does he do? He turns the 2-run deficit into a 2-run lead. A grand slam goes from 5-3 to 7-5 Cincy. And all of a sudden, there are 3 outs away from taking this win, and a very impressive win. We go to the 9th, and it is the big dumper Cal Raleigh, his 8th home run on the season, his 3rd of the series, and that brings Seattle within 1. And while they're too busy celebrating, Randy Arozarena is up to bat next, and he ties it, his 4th of the year. Back-to-back bombs in the 9th, and don't go anywhere yet because we've got extra inning baseball. In the top of the 10th, the Mariners say, hey, why don't we just end it right here, right now? Crawford, an RBI single. Randy Arozarena, who got the game into extras with his second home run, or that home run after Cal's. He gets a 2-run double, and then Donovan Solano, he reaches on another error by Ellie De La Cruz. That scores another run. 11-7, your final. The Reds can't score in the 10th. Reds, they kind of lost this game. They had 4 errors, 2 of which from Ellie that scored runs that kind of cost them. 4 errors is what you kind of want to see. Well, obviously you want to never see errors, but if you have to see errors, 4 is, good for a week. A week, maybe 2 weeks if you're really lucky out there. But 4 in a game and you win is very lucky. And, unfortunately for the Reds here, Those 4 errors ended up costing them the win here, and that was the series as well. Mariners take 2 out of 3, 11-7. Mariners in 10, your final, and that is your game of the week. So let's get on with the baseball news from the week here. Of course, on the 15th, we celebrate Jackie Robinson Day, one of the greats, and of course, a man part of MLB history till the day that he will die. Jackie Robinson Day, always a great day to see, how players choose to honor Jackie. Of course, I think the best one that I saw, of course, and I'm sure if you were watching baseball on the 15th, you also might have saw it. Jazz Chisholm Jr. with the rolled up pants, kind of, exactly how Jackie wore his pants back then. And I mean, that was just a really cool look and a really cool vibe for him. And of course, so many players with specialized cleats and catcher gear and bats and all the other stuff. Though, really cool day. Always like to mention it and throw it on. I like to try to watch the 42 movie at some point, in the week. So just ways to kind of remember Jackie and what he was able to do for the game of baseball. So yeah, really cool that we get to celebrate that, of course, early on here, always April 15th. So his day and his moment and what he's been able to do for the baseball world, essentially. Let's talk about this Pirates and Nationals situation here with Lopez and McCutchen, because, I mean, that's what's really interesting here with Jorge Lopez and McCutchen here. So what ended up happening, of course, Lopez throws at, he hits 2 batters. So he starts, I believe it's Reynolds first, and then he gets one way up and in on McCutchen. I mean, like, way up and in. Like, it is nowhere close. And that causes, feelings, and that causes the spread out there. And then everyone kind of just takes charge on the field. Everyone starts coming out, ready to go to war for their guys. And I mean, that's what's really cool about baseball that I like. That's just like, we will have our guys back regardless of, the situation and what ends up happening here, which is, a great system for baseball. I think it works really well here. I was looking into it a little bit. I saw things on social media. Apparently, Reynolds and McCutchen were both hitting home runs, who both hit home runs against Lopez last year when he was a member of the Cubs. So it was Reynolds who got hit at this point. So when Lopez comes in, he gives up 2 singles, gets a ground out, but that scores a run. So it's 2-0, the already run driven in. Then a second ground out. So now with 2 outs, 1 runner on, he then hits Reynolds and then hits McCutchen. That loads the bases, of course. Well, he didn't hit McCutchen, but it was very up and in. Eventually, he gets ejected. The pitcher comes in, ends up walking McCutchen, and that leads to the O'Neal Cruz grand slam. So, an interesting turn of events there in the 7th inning for Pittsburgh. I don't know if it was intentional or not. There are sometimes you can definitely tell, and I mean, the location is nowhere great. If it did slip out, it was a pretty. I don't know if it was a fastball or sinker. It had some movement, but regardless, it's led to Lopez with a 3-game suspension. I don't believe he's appealing it, so I think he, is gonna just take it on the chin. And that to me, it doesn't prove that like, oh yeah, it was intentional and I'm gonna take my punishment. It just means that like, it's not worth fighting the process, I guess, to get it maybe reduced to 2 games, right? So it's just 1 extra game, and it just means an extra day of rest for him. And it's to me, it's nothing at the end of the day. I think McCutchen, obviously in the moment, you got 2 runners on, you're trying to do some damage here, then you get, whatever Lopez throws is 96 maybe, I think, 94, 96, like at your head. Like it really would have just been direct hit on his head there. So obviously, you understand McCutchen. Obviously, the Pirates will have his back there. Of course, we know Lopez. He's been into situations before. He's bounced around, team to team. I mean, in a 10-year span, he's been with Baltimore. He's been with Kansas City, Milwaukee, Minnesota, the Mets, the Cubs, Miami, Washington now. So, I mean, it's been a lengthy, career for Lopez in lots of teams, lots of drama. He's been in issues and stuff. So, it's on par for his course. And, just a situation that, maybe was avoidable if you really think about it. But at the same time, too, it's, baseball. It's our first bench clearing of the year. I was trying to remember. I'm like, have I talked about a bench clearing yet already? But no, this was our first time that teams had to be separated with a little scrum on the field. It wasn't anything crazy, but still something worth talking about. And something interesting there for the Pirates. And hey, they had a nice series, 3 out of 4. Speaking of 4, how about Arizona Diamondbacks? And by 4, I mean 5. They are on a 5-game winning streak. And guess what? It means absolutely nothing for them. Because guess what? They are not first in the division. They are not second in the division. They are not third in the division. They are still 4th in the division. And I talked about this last week, and I've talked about it probably on Monday too. Because what is happening right now is extremely impressive. I mentioned how I would love to see, all 4 of these NL West teams in the postseason. How cool would that be? You have a 1 seed, you have a 4 seed, a 5 seed, and a 6 seed, right? They're all in it. That's crazy. What is more crazy, if you look at the MLB league as a whole, Arizona, 4th in the division, is 4th in MLB. Those 4 teams, the Padres, the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Diamondbacks, 15-4, 14-6, 13-6, and 12-7. Arizona's 12-7 is tied with other teams that are 12-7, including the Mets, Yankees, and Rangers. But when you pull it up without, it's not like Arizona's tied for 4th and they're behind the Mets. It goes Padres, Dodgers, Giants, Diamondbacks, Mets, Yankees, Mets, Yankees, Rangers, Tigers, Phillies, Jays, etc., etc. So they're on a 5-game winning streak. They're 4th in MLB. They're 4th in division. How unlucky can you get? Imagine being 12-7, one of the best teams in baseball. I know it's extremely early, right? Don't get me wrong. I would be shocked if it stays like this for the whole. I wouldn't be shocked if all 4 make the postseason, but I would be shocked if whichever team finishes 4th would be first in any other division, first in the AL. This is what's happening is crazy right now. But yeah, it's absurd, really. The plus 37 run differential. The Dodgers have the worst run differential in the division outside of the Rockies, of course. But Padres are plus 37, Giants are plus 32, Diamondbacks plus 22, Dodgers are plus 7. I think that series with Colorado really helped the 3-game winning streak. They're 5-5 in their last 10, but Padres are 8-2 in the last 10. Diamondbacks are 7-3. Giants just split the 4-game set against the Phillies. But yeah, it's the 4 best teams in baseball all belong in the NL West. And the reason why I know it's not going to stay around is because they haven't faced each other. There's been no Padres, Dodgers. There's been no Giants, Diamondbacks. I'm pretty sure. I think the only team that any of them have faced in the division has been the Rockies. I cannot remember here. If you look at Arizona, Miami, Brewers, Baltimore, Nats, Yankees, Cubs, right? So Arizona hasn't played anyone. If you go to the Giants here now, I'm just pulling things up because now I'm just generally curious. I'm pretty sure no one's played each other. Those 4 teams have not. Phillies, Yankees, Reds, Mariners, Astros. Yeah. The Padres, Dodgers, Giants, and Diamondbacks are all the best teams in baseball, and it helps because they haven't had to play each other yet. It's an NL West battle, and, there's been no Dodgers, Giants, and this and that, which is, interesting and fun, So I wonder when that first series will happen. I know it could be soon, obviously. You can't avoid your division for that long, but still, what's going on right now in the NL West is extremely creative, and Arizona right now on a 5-game winning streak, MLB's best 5-game winning streak, and they find themselves 4th in the division, 4th in the league. Would be if you put them in the NL East, they're first. NL Central, they're first. Anywhere in the AL, they're first. It's crazy what's going on right now with that NL West, and we'll see how long it rides for. But until it doesn't, it's a pretty crazy story. So I just like bringing attention to it. Moving on here, not really MLB related, but it is baseball related. So, of course, next year is the World Baseball Classic that would be going on, before the season starts. And there was some interesting news that came out of, World Baseball Classic camp. It was announced that Mark DeRosa, who will be managing Team USA for the 2nd year in a row, has named Aaron Judge the captain of the team. Of Team USA, and of course it was also announced that Lindor would be captain of the Puerto Rico team. So you're getting to the point now where there's going to be, players being named, and of course, like, oh, like who's going to be on the team and all this stuff. And it's really excited. I loved the World Baseball Classic a couple years ago. I thought it was, it's for me, it's some of the most entertaining baseball to watch. You had Trout and Ohtani at the end there. At the time they were still teammates. So, I mean, like, it really was like a really fun battle. You got to see Trout walk out with the flag, and DeRosa obviously called Trout and was like, hey, we're going to go with Judge, and he said it was the right pick. And if USA makes it to the finals there, to see Judge bring out that American flag, I think for most Americans, they'll be pretty happy with that. Judge has become one of the faces of baseball, of course, obviously, captain of the Yankees and now captain of Team USA. So I just want to bring some light into that. Of course, I'm sure we'll have a couple more captains maybe announced. Of course, when you think of the teams that, really matter, you think USA, you think, for me, I think USA, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Japan is like the top four. And then you sprinkle in like the Mexico, the Venezuela, the Canadas of the world. So, really cool there for those guys. I'm sure they're extremely happy and honored to be repping their country in the World Baseball Classic next year. Moving on here, we got some notable moves that I wanted to mention here. The first one being the White Sox DFAing Mike Clevinger, who I knew was on the team, but I didn't know they were using him as a relief pitcher. They haven't used him as a starter. He's played 8 games for them. He pitched 5 2/3. He's allowed 5 hits, 5 earned runs, and has walked 8. So they're letting him go. They're DFAing him and trying to get him out of there. And, Clevinger, of course, decent career with the Guardians. And then, as COVID happened and as, things went away, he ended up on the Padres for a nice season or two, White Sox, and it's kind of been downhill from there for Clevinger, unfortunately. So he's getting DFA'd. The Dodgers have, they've been kind of lacking a starter here. Landon Knox has been kind of the guy who's filling a role there. He made 2 starts. He's played 3 games. He's got a 7.27 ERA, 8 2/3, 9 hits, 7 earned runs. So definitely struggling. They send him down to AAA, and they recall Bobby Miller, who made his season debut over the week. Against the Rockies. This was, of course, actually, the last game of the series, the one where the Rockies came back with the Tolia Grand Slam and all the other stuff that happened, Mickey Moniak. So he played 1 game. His ERA is 18. He pitched 3 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, the 2 home runs, and now he's back down to AAA. So we're looking for a starter here. If you're the Dodgers here, you don't know kind of what you're missing. I don't believe they've made a following move yet. I know they just sent him back down, so I think they're missing a guy on the 26-man rotation right now. Not sure if they have anyone coming back from an injury or something to replace it, but they sent him back down to AAA for sure. So they've optioned Landon Knox, they've optioned Bobby Miller. So right now they have a rotation of Yamamoto, Sasaki, Glasnow, and May. Of course, Sasaki hasn't been as great as they had wanted him to. I don't know what the plan is there for the Dodgers. Of course, they have, it's at the top of the rotation at least. Yamamoto pitches today, Sasaki tomorrow, Glasnow on Sunday. They have an off day Monday, and then May obviously pitching on Tuesday. So the next time they actually need a starter is on Wednesday. So they could carry a bullpen arm if, they want to do that for now. And, they have an option there. So we'll see what the Dodgers do, but they are definitely missing a pitcher right now. And the last interesting move that happened here is that Verdugo has been recalled. So he is officially going to be joining the Braves in Major League camp. And hopefully that can help the Braves out because, they're 5-13. They're still bottom of the division. They're slowly catching up on the Nationals. They're just a game and a half back of them, but still 6.5 back of the Mets. They really need to start seeing the work come through. The offense kind of clicked. We know Austin Riley had 3 home runs against the Jays this series. Albies went deep. Olsen went deep. The offense was kind of there. It's more the pitching that's still like a little concerning. Chris Sale hasn't really found his form yet. Schwellenbach, who had been so impressive, he really struggled against the Jays in his game pitch. So there's definitely still work to be done for the Braves to continue to get going here and to continue to find their rhythm. And hopefully Verdugo is kind of a sparking point for them, and they can, use that and carry some momentum through the rest of the month of April. So those are some moves. Let's move on now to some injury updates, some notable guys here. Chris Bryant from the Rockies, he lands on the 10-day IL with lumbar degenerative disc disease. So he's going to see a little bit of time here. It shouldn't be too long for Bryant. He should be back pretty much when the IL ends in 10 days, so something to note there. CES, Christian Encarnacion Strand from the Reds. 10-day IL for him, lower back inflammation. And Jose Siri from the Mets, 10-day IL with a fractured shin. So those are the injury updates. Nothing too crazy. We have outstanding performances here, and it's a nice list. Nothing too crazy long, but it is still rather long. Chris Bassett, who has been so dominant so far this season, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts for him. Shane Baz, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, an earned run, no walks, and 11 Ks, his best start of the season so far. How about Tomoyuki Sugano, the 37-year-old rookie from outside of Japan? 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, and 3 Ks for him. Clay Holmes, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 8 Ks. Joe Ryan, similar, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 8 Ks. JP Sears with a nice game, of course, against the White Sox, though. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Tyler Mahle has clicked it finally with the Rangers. He's looked good so far. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 9 Ks. Patrick Corbin, how about shout out this guy? Got bit by a potentially venomous spider. He had a quote of saying he was struggling to stand on his own 2 feet and still went out there and threw 5 1/3, 5 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 6 Ks. A lot better than some of his starts with the Nationals. So, I mean, hey, good for Corbin. Christopher Sanchez, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and 12 strikeouts for him. Morel Kelly, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 9 Ks. Jake Irvin, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, a walk, and 6 Ks. How about Spurvin Irvin? Bailey Falter, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, a walk, and 2 Ks. And then Andrew Heaney, 7 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 Ks. Who needs Paul Skeens when you got Falter and Heaney throwing out 7-inning gems? Tarek Skubal, his best start, the reigning Triple Crown Cy Young winner. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 9 strikeouts for him. Sonny Gray, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, a walk, and 4 Ks. Hunter Brown, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 Ks. Bryce Miller, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts for him. And then Dustin May, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. Those are your updates, your outstanding performances. That's the word we're looking for. Moving on here, we've got our stat leaderboard. Who now leads that? Who is at the top here? Well, from Springer to Judge. Judge has a 400 average, which just seems illegal for a guy who hits that many home runs. His average cannot be that high, but it is. He's off to an amazing start. Hits, it was a tie between Kyle Tucker and Jacob Whistling. It is still a tie, but it's now 2 completely different guys. Brendan Donovan from the Cardinals, and of course Aaron Judge, 28 hits on the season so far. Home runs, there was a point where we had 6 or 8 guys tied for 6 home runs. Tyler Soderstrom said, 2 home runs, and then another one, 3 home runs total. He leads the league in home runs with 9. Aaron Judge, considerably, does not lead the league in RBIs anymore because that honor goes to, you guessed it, Wilmer Flores out of left field for some reason. 23 RBIs. He now leads the league there. Runs is Shohei Ohtani with 21. Walks, we have a 6-way tie between Marcell Ozuna, Randy Arozarena, Matt Chapman, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, and Kyle Tucker, all 16 all with 16 walks, so it's a 6-way tie, so hopefully we get that cleared up. O'Neal Cruz still leads in stolen bases with 9, and Aaron Judge still leads in OPS with 1.283. He went up this week, so how about that? For the wins, we have a 12-way tie for 3 wins, which is unfortunate. Anthony Banda, Max Fried, Sonny Gray, Morel Kelly, Michael King, Tyler Malley, Brandon Fott, Nick Pavetta, Robbie Ray, Brady Singer, Jeffrey Springs, Justin Steele, all 3-ways. Not 3-way tie, 12-way tie, all with 3 wins. So hopefully that gets cleared up. New ERA leader, thanks to the Jays, who, got around to Spencer Schwellenbach. It is now Chris Bassett who leads in ERA, 0.77. His stuff has been unhittable for hitters so far. Strikeouts, we went from a 4-way tie to a solo man. Cole Reagans, 34 strikeouts for the Royals. He's been killing it. That's my Cy Young pick, just saying. Saves is still Robert Suarez with 8. And that is your stat leaderboard. It's how things are looking currently. We've got our upcoming series now. The Reds are in Baltimore to take on the O's. Mariners north of the border taking on the Blue Jays. Yankees and Rays at Steinbrenner. So who gets home field advantage? Really, that's a 4-game series. We got a sock-off again. White Sox at Red Sox. Royals and Tigers in a 4-game series. That could be crucial for an AL Central division down the line. Dodgers taking on the Rangers. Giants taking on the Angels. And Padres taking on the Astros. So you have some NL West teams versus some AL West teams. Rangers, Angels, and Astros. I would be careful because you're taking on the 3 best teams in baseball right now. Twins at Atlanta to take on the Braves. Hopefully a spark plug for Atlanta. They got to get things going. Marlins at Phillies. Cardinals at Mets. That's a 4-game series. Guardians at Pirates. A's at Brewers. D-backs at Cubs. Watch out, Chicago. And then at the bottom there, Nationals and Rockies for a little fun. Maybe the Rockies can end their 6-game losing streak. It's been quite a while since the Rockies have last taken a dub. The playoff predictor, last thing of the episode here. How would the season, how the bracket look if it ended today? In the AL, the Red Sox are your 6 seed. Your Tigers are your 3 seed. Mariners, the 5 seed. Blue Jays, the 4 seed. The Red Sox beat the Tigers. The Mariners beat the Blue Jays. So the 2 away teams move on. You have Mariners at Rangers, Red Sox at Yankees. Some fun division series there. The Mariners take down the Rangers, who are currently first. And then the Yankees handle the Red Sox. So our ALCS matchup is the Seattle Mariners and the New York Yankees. And of course, it's those Bronx Bombers taking the win. They head to the World Series. On the NL side, I mentioned this, D-backs at Cubs in the 6 and the 3, Giants in the 5, Dodgers at the 4, excuse me. It's Dodgers are second in baseball. They find themselves in the 4th seed. The D-backs beat the Cubs, the Dodgers beat the Giants. So our NLDS matchup, Dodgers at Padres and D-backs at Mets. The Padres, the 1 seed, they beat the Dodgers. D-backs on the verge, on the rise, they beat the Mets. So our championship series is the D-backs at the Padres. Interdivision stuff here. The NL West is crazy. And it's the D-backs on their crazy run. They head to the World Series. So it's Yankees at D-backs. Yeah, the D-backs are the home team. Considering they're the 6th seed, they have a better record than the Yankees. And that leads to a 2025 World Series champion. The D-backs take down the Yankees. How about that if the season ended today? When you're hot, you're hot. And right now, Arizona is hot. Still 4th, though, crazily enough. That's going to do it here for the middle of the order from me. I appreciate you guys as always. Go and enjoy some baseball this week. We got some good matchups, some good pitching matchups. I'm just looking at the docket for the day, the docket here. You got, Brian Wu and Bowden Francis, Corbin Burns, and that's a fun always start for Arizona. You got Cole Reagans versus Jackson Jobe. I mean, that should be a Royals win here. Yamamoto versus DeGrom. That should be interesting. DeGrom 0-0, a 4.3 ERA. He's off to a cold start this season. Can he get things locked in? Even if you're going to the Nationals and Rockies game, that's Mackenzie Gore and Chase Dollander. So some really, good matchups here over the week here. So yeah, go and check out a baseball game or two if you got the time. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, everybody, so much. And I will see you on Monday.